All right. Welcome to the Town of Litchfield Recreation Commission meeting. Tonight is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. We are meeting in person at Town Hall Conference Room, and we have one member attending remotely via WebEx. The time now is 7:30 p.m. Start off by doing a roll call of members present. My name is Steve Gannon. I am the chair. Mr. Andy Ruggles.
Present.
Mr. Peter Ames remotely.
Present.
Mr. Mike Bosky.
Present.
Mr. Christopher Burns.
Present.
Ms. Judy Brennan.
Present.
Mr. Steve Weber, Selectman's Rep.
Present.
Tonight, Jeff Town, our alternate, is absent with prior notification. Because we do have a member who is remote, we will be doing all votes by roll call. Consideration of previous meeting minutes. We have one to approve. That is for April 4th, 2022. Absent that evening was Mr. Bosky and Mr. Jeff Town.
Steve, we got to do a vote to allow Peter to.
Oh, thank you. Can we do a vote to allow Mr. Peter Ames to attend this meeting remotely? All in favor? Mr. Weber?
Aye.
Mr. Burns?
Aye.
Mr. Ruggles?
Aye.
I am an aye. Mr. Bosky?
Aye.
Ms. Brennan?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, Steve, for that. I kind of forgot what that.
Six,
gotta do that.
I was waiting for the math.
We don't. He doesn't have to vote himself in, right? Motion 601. All right. So consideration of previous meeting minutes. We have one April 4th, 2022. Absent that evening was Mike Bosky and Jeff Town. Has everyone had a chance to review the meeting minutes? Take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion, edits, changes? All right. Let's make a motion to approve. Mr. Weber,
Aye.
Mr. Burns,
Aye.
Mr. Ruggles.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Ms. Brennan,
Aye.
Mr. Ames,
Aye.
and any nays? Abstain? Mike Bosky. Motion carries 601. We did not have a meeting on April 26th. I believe we are all caught up with our meeting minutes as well. Public input, we did have one member, someone who's interested in joining the Recreation Commission, Mr. Adam Quintel. I thought he would be here this evening. We will hold off on that, and maybe he will arrive a little later. Facility and field requests. Spirit of Litchfield, Heather Patillo and the crew is seeking to use Town Hall and Roy Memorial Park for a picnic in the park social event on Saturday, June 25th at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The event is actually from 11 to 3, but they need time to clean up, set up, and break down. Possible activities, crafts, petting zoo, cornhole, food, and more. Bring your lawn chairs, blankets. Come meet people in your community. She was asking about insurance for a bounce house or a dunk tank.
Well, they would need to provide insurance anyway, right?
Now, there is subcommittee.
There was a subcommittee of us.
Oh, to us. Okay. So we'd have to check with our policy holder.
We should check with Pinax and make sure they're covered.
All right. There is nothing on the calendar for that date.
I believe softball's over with before then too.
Yeah.
If we did anything, we were going to do that jamboree that day, but I don't think it's going to work out. So
You want to mix it with them?
yeah, exactly.
On the concession stand.
I think we'll be out states.
I have a motion to approve, and then we'll do any discussion.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Andy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on this? All right. Let's move to a vote. Mr. Weber,
Aye.
Mr. Burns,
Aye.
Mr. Ruggles.
Aye.
I am an aye. Mr. Bosky,
Aye.
Ms. Brennan,
Aye.
Mr. Ames.
Aye.
Motion carries. There's no nays or abstains. Motion carries. Let's do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 700. New business. It's that time of year for a new board, election of officers. How's everybody's math skills? Would anybody like to make a motion to appoint a chair?
I'll make a motion for Steve Gannon as chair.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? I don't have a problem with it. Thank you.
Yeah. Quick comment. So Steve, you've done a fantastic job. So, I think you just really, it's something you've been very organized, kept us on pace. So thank you for all you're doing. So you're just fantastic. So
Thank
very
you.
much for support.
And you can pronounce everyone's name now. So
I'm getting better with my math.
And you can count to
Couple
seven.
more years, you'll be right
Count to
on.
7.
And no one else really wants to be there. I mean, you're doing a great job, yes.
Split you being there so I don't have to. All right, let's do a roll call vote. Mr. Weber,
Aye.
Mr. Burns.
Aye.
Mr. Ruggles.
Aye.
Mr. Bosky,
Aye.
Ms. Brennan,
Aye.
Mr. Ames,
Aye.
nays. I will abstain. Motion carries 601. Thank you for the confidence, folks. Would anybody like to make a motion to appoint a vice chair?
I'll make a motion to appoint Andy Ruggles as vice chair.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, go to a roll call vote. Mr. Weber,
Aye.
Mr. Burns.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Mr. Bosky,
Aye.
Ms. Brennan,
Aye.
Mr. Ames.
Aye.
Motion
I'll
nays.
abstain.
You'll abstain. You want in on this, Andy? Motion carries 601. Congratulations, Andy. All right. Would anyone like to make a motion to appoint a secretary?
Can we have any discussion first? I know Peter had mentioned maybe not wanting to do it anymore, and I just wanted to get his input prior to making a.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, I've been in that officer role for 2 years now. So, I don't think that I would like to renew it at this time. I don't think looking forward, I know I couldn't give it what it deserves in the year ahead. So, I would entertain someone else for the position. I haven't thought about that, but yeah, thank you for asking. Appreciate being able to serve in that role.
It seems we have somebody that takes the minutes. Could we also have that individual just push out the agenda?
We could probably do that. Does he do it for the other meetings?
Well, Board of Selectmen, Troy and I put it together, but he actually publishes it. Troy publishes it.
We may need to check the bylaws though, that we may require that position.
Good point.
What did he say?
I think it does.
Under the bylaws. we
Under the
may
bylaws, I
need to
think
have
we
secretary.
actually say we do, yeah.
I'll make a motion to appoint Judy Brennan as secretary.
I'll second.
Okay.
All right, discussion. What does it entail, really, truthfully?
Not that much. So, when I put the agendas together, that's probably the most significant.
Okay,
thing.
people just
Our
send the
records and
agenda
things.
items.
Correct.
Yeah, Peter
Yeah,
usually
that's
pings
the-
everybody a
the
few days in
icons.
advance. What topics do you have? And he
Yep.
puts the agenda together.
He has a template and he puts an agenda together and he sends it out. And then we have Matt Sullivan, who monitors us, watches us, and he does the
Actual
meeting
minutes.
minutes. All
But
right.
Judy, also, they're the official record keeper to make sure we have things on files or like the bylaws, any updates there. But I just want to say, you've had a couple of really good ideas, I think, that would be in line with this position. So I think some of the things that you've had energy for already, could be enhanced by being in that role.
Yeah, you just don't want to do it.
He
No,
sound,
I'm
he
kidding.
sounds great, doesn't he?
Yes.
I like that.
Right.
He wrote this beforehand, was like, I'm not
Yeah.
going back into it. I'll say this about anyone who's nominated.
All right, are you
He's a smart
Are
man.
you open to me contacting you if I have questions?
Sorry, what, I didn't quite hear that?
Would you be open to me contacting you if I have questions?
Absolutely, yeah, no, we can certainly chat about it going forward, and I'd always be available, for sure.
All right.
This connection's cutting out. Oh.
Right.
All right, let's do a roll call vote. Mr. Weber,
Aye.
Mr. Burns,
Aye.
Mr. Ruggles.
Aye.
I'm also an aye. Mr. Bosky,
Aye.
Mr. Ames,
Aye.
nays, abstain.
Abstain?
Motion carries 601.
Whoever nominated me and seconded it will owe me a chocolate peanut butter ice cream from Licks. And then I won't grumble and complain.
Weekly. At
But
every
let's
meeting.
go open that shed first.
Yes. Don't do that without me.
All right, thank you, folks. Next topic is change of meeting start times. Currently, we are meeting every second Tuesday, second and fourth Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Would someone like to make a motion to change the start time to a specific time?
Chris, is your conflict over?
Sort of, sort of.
So
She might have to come periodically, but
that's not an issue.
I know my conflicts a little bit more now, but that's all right. I mean, I can work around it.
Yeah.
You know,
Because we take what, July and August? I want to say off, but we reduce the
Yeah,
number.
reduce the amount of them.
one meeting a month.
I think we should stay with 2 scheduled and do what we've been doing, because remember last year we got kind of burnt
Right.
because we only had 1 meeting.
Yeah.
But like, if we have no agenda items, then I would go that route. But like, keep 2 scheduled.
So
I think that's a
second
good
and
idea.
fourth Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, because sometimes stuff comes up and you're like, oh, we won't get to you for a month.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry. So
A couple of years ago, we were here till 9:00 at night, 9:30 at night.
yeah.
Yeah, last year, didn't we have to like schedule some special meeting in like the end of June, beginning of July?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember
Fit
what
something
it's
in,
for.
yeah.
Yeah. We
yeah,
did.
it was a couple.
And as far as time, like whatever, I don't care. 7:37, whatever. I mean, you're the one that
I don't have any conflict of time.
probably in
with
bed
this.
by like 8 o'clock. most nights.
This is true now. I have to get up and be a big boy and go to work. So now gotta get dressed, shower, leave the house. I don't know. I don't know if I could do this. All right. So someone like to suggest a start time?
Anything
very-
earlier than anything earlier than 7:30.
We could do 6:30, 7. We're at 7:30 now.
So if we did move it, I probably wouldn't, I'd still have a conflict before 7.
Okay.
So, yeah,
So you'd say 7.
yeah, would be my earliest, I would say.
That's fair.
7 p.m. Any other discussion? Peter, 7 p.m.
That would be good. Yep.
Works for you?
Yes.
It's fine.
What's wrong with you? All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Weber,
Aye.
for changing this meeting start time to 7 p.m., but we will still have second and fourth Tuesday of the month.
Still an aye.
Still an aye. Mr. Burns.
Aye.
Mr. Eccles. I am an aye. Ms. Bosky.
All right.
Ms. Brennan.
Aye.
Mr. Ames.
Aye.
No nays or abstains. Motion carries 7-0. So starting the next meeting, which is 24th,
Yes.
we will meet at 7 p.m. Next topic is water usage at Talent. Penachuk notified us that we had a significant increase in our water usage. Don't know why. Thought it was a leak. I was nervous that it was a leak because of the water, the heater situation this past winter and pipes freezing. I went down actually it was this Saturday. Nobody was in the building. It was quiet. There was no wind. And I could not hear any hissing. I could not hear any drips. I could not see any drips. I could not see any water. I took a picture of the meter and went back the next day at the same time. And the meter did not move. So that tells me that we do not have a leak inside the building. I took a bucket, put it on the outside faucet, and ran it for one cycle, and it put out a little over 7 gallons, which is one cubic foot. I'm stopping.
Is it possible that somebody just didn't shut a sink off all the way or something, and just it just and then happened? Somebody went in later and shut it off, and it.
But didn't they report that it was up over a couple months? So I think Troy put in that they pinged him again that the usage was up.
Yeah, they pinged us a while ago that the water usage was up, and I went and I replaced all the flapper valves.
Yep.
Because they were definitely leaking, and that fixed it. And then they pinged us again just this month. I think if it was leaking that much, I don't know how much up it is, how many gallons and all that. I got to reach out to Karen to find out how many gallons we're being charged for. But I would think if it was as high as I'm expecting them to say, our septic would be overflowing.
And you would see that in a day. Like if it was leaking that much, you would. It's not
Right.
like
You would have seen it in a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and the needle did not move. So it's
something
possibly
freak. Probably then. I'm telling you, it's probably like somebody left a spigot. Yeah, something on just like a little bit.
The
My
spigot
kids do it all
outside.
the time.
The spigot outside is still shut off.
Yeah.
So it's not like someone left the hose on, the hose bib on. The other thing we could do is they're old sinks, they're old toilets. We talked about it. Maybe with some of the ARPA funds, try to replace them with touchless low flow and try to reduce our costs there. It also brings up, I don't know the last time the septic was pumped. You remember ever having this?
Ooh, who would have that
No,
record?
No, I don't remember.
Whoever would pay the
Use that
bills,
thing.
Karen would
right?
have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen.
So
Oh, we should probably check that.
it said we use 15 cubic feet from March to April. The previous 2 months it was 7, and then before that it was 18, 12, and then November was 59, which is probably when there was a leak of some sort. But I mean, I'm assuming that they're thinking we should be around 7. A year ago, we were only at 5, 4 and 5.
That's like nothing.
Well, it wasn't open at that time a year
Right.
ago.
There were restrictions
Right.
still, right?
Should be at 0.
But still, it shouldn't be, even if it wasn't open,
But I think that could
5 is actually
like
5 is actually a lot. If
Yeah.
we're not using the building, why are we even using 5 cubic feet?
Because the flapper valves really good.
Right, but I mean, but you mean now, so you see it was way up over the winter, which 59 just seems insane.
Yeah.
And then last month was 15.
What did I say? 1 cubic foot was 7.4 gallons.
So it's 59 before you changed everything?
Yeah.
No.
Probably.
So they allocated us $1,112 for the budget for the whole year. We've already spent $707 in water.
Is it worth just shutting the water off for the summer months when nobody's really in there? So if we have an event, somebody can go back in and turn it on.
Yeah, we don't have sprinkler
Well,
systems.
and that's a good test on Penachuk to see if they're just charging us to charge us.
Right.
Yeah. Because I mean,
I think we shut it off. No reason for it to be on.
Well, is pickleball still in there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They are now.
Schedule set. I think they're.
Yeah.
I've seen people playing pickleball on the tennis court, so I don't know if they're outside now. I don't know if that's the league or just random people playing.
You can shut it off and see if.
I mean, we can tell them that we shut it off, and if they're in there, they can turn it on.
Good point.
I mean, we've already used 64% of our budget.
Yeah, and it's May.
Well, I mean, our most usage though is
January, February,
Yeah.
March.
Because we have the most people in there. We have
And then
basketball in there, we have baseball in there, we have softball in there, we have pickleball in there.
Theoretically, it's zero.
It
all
should be
summer.
0 all summer
Right.
or minuscule.
Yeah.
Then even after that, it's not that much come November, December.
We talked to Ryan Lane the other day. He confirmed that there is no irrigation attached to the Pennachuck
Correct.
pipe.
No, that's
Everything's coming from a well.
Mhm.
So shut it off. We'll let pickleball know that if they're in there, just turn it on. When they're done, shut it off. I think they've been very good stewards of the building. I'm sure they will take care of that.
You said you had a picture of it last week, right?
Yep.
Have we looked since then? What did it at now?
It was Saturday. It was
Yeah, okay.
Saturday. I just went 24 hours and then the meter did not move.
Didn't move,
Has
right?
anybody been in there since then? Did pickleball show up in the schedule? I believe.
I haven't.
It flashed up this morning that they were in
They were in there?
just by alert.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually were or not.
Oh, okay.
They have it
So
reserved.
you have the alert so that they were
Yeah.
scheduled for that time.
It tells me I have 20 minutes to get there. It tells me when I have to go.
Tells you when your court time is. We know you play.
When did you join?
You just don't want to let anyone know.
I might actually enjoy
They're
pickleball.
probably using a combination of both.
Fastest growing
Because if
sport
we've had some
in
rainy
America.
weather, they'd probably be inside, and if it's a nicer day outside, so they're probably a combination. of
Nicer day. It
both.
might hit 55.
ARPA funds
Yeah.
cover, well, the COVID funds cover replacement of the should,
We'd
right?
have to ask Troy.
Go with touchless and low flow.
That could be the caveat.
And I
There's a
did,
whole test he has to go through. Does it fit this, this, and this? So Ian Carey can go through it.
Gonna make all these upgrades. and
because then at the same time, I'd like to get rid of that big
Some
water
closet.
heater
Something like that.
Then we can
No
get
one
rid
the
of that.
walls, but
No,
pipe,
Those
so
can
that
stay
heat tape on the
standing.
pipe goes under this stage, and then reduce it all just to the 2 bathrooms. And
it makes a
Kitchen
lot of
sink out.
sense.
rip the kitchen sink out, yep.
Mhm.
That's leaking up behind it, so that needs to come out anyway. All right, I'll talk to Troy about ARPA funds. Is that what they call ARPA?
Yeah.
I can swing down there after the meeting and shut the water off if you're not.
Yeah, see what it moved. If nobody's been in there, it shouldn't have moved much. I didn't send you a picture, did I?
No, I'll check it too when I'm in there.
It was at 44120 when I left on Sunday. I'll forward you this picture. There's a lot of flow. When you turn it on, that meter moves quickly. I don't ever remember watching my house meter move that quick. All right, dumpster, illegal dumping. We've seen an increase of illegal dumping at the baseball fields, Justin Bissett and Corning. The dumpsters are being replaced with units that have a gravity locking system. I did pick up the locks. I have them at the house. I meant to bring them with me tonight. Do you have to put the locks back on?
I'm assuming there's like a sliding door or something that you'll have to use to get in there.
Yeah, but then are we going to can we padlock the sliding door?
I would think so. I think we're gonna have
Because
to.
then we'd have to put them back on.
So it's probably sliding doors that you could padlock and close, and then the top is always closed unless you lift the.
Unless they lift it up past and then the lock comes off with gravity and they're able to dump it and put it back.
People watching, it is illegal to use someone else's dumpster without their permission. And bottom line is you're taking away from the kids playing because every time we dump that dumpster, it costs money, and that comes out of the programs we support. I'll get you the locks and we can put them back on. They may have even already replaced them, right? They were coming.
No, they haven't. I was just out there.
They were just out there. They didn't do it yet.
They had targeted today, right? Starting today, I think is what the note said.
They might have done Corning. I didn't get out there. I was only at Jeff today.
All right.
That was still overflowing.
No, they're both emptied.
So they did.
They literally ripped the covers off to get into both of them because they didn't have the codes. But they didn't change. The codes didn't change. I don't know why they didn't have the codes.
That's strange.
But I don't know how they ripped it, but they really destroyed. So anyway.
I did see some personal mail in there, but I didn't want to climb in to get the address. It is not underneath me, but I was afraid of
It
getting
has
out
been
and not
done in
getting
the
out.
past. It has been done in the past, and the
Yes.
individual has been called.
I have done it as well. Showed up at his door and said, "Your husband did this." She said, "I'll take care of it." Rather than calling the police or anything else, went to the wife. How about the sinkhole at
It's still there.
Still there.
still there?
So I talked to Ryan Lane, and that valve box in front of it
Mhm.
has no valves, and it's all electrical splices that are in it.
Okay, so it's just a stump then.
It's speculation it could be a stump that's rotting away.
Stumper in it. I mean, it doesn't look like it's an animal because the hole that was there has been covered up and it hasn't opened back up.
Definitely a stump.
So it's just
Stump or something, yeah. It's just rotting away in the valve. So I think we just got to backfill it and loam it, seed it.
How about the big sinkhole at Jeff? I know Kevin Brown went down with a dumpster load of.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, that was just because it was wet. He went down with a
Oh, yeah.
dumpster load and compacted it for us, so it's hard packed now.
Much better.
And the intent is to get it all the way up to the maintenance shed, and then we won't have an issue.
All right, so there'll be
Somebody
a-
did back over the culvert, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So we have to put some boards up or something for.
It's just a corner of it's rolled in on. of the
I think I
plastic
can
culvert.
fix it. I just have to do it.
So the only people that should be backing up there would be people working the
It was
event.
the
to
porta
fill-
potty guy because he got stuck and he had to get
Oh.
pulled out.
Then there was
And I think
another
that's when it happened.
vehicle in the wee hours of the morning that had to get pulled out of there too.
We got to get a gate over there.
Camera. All right. Capital improvement plan input. Something we've always talked about, the capital CIP is a short range plan, usually 4 to 10 years, which identifies capital projects and equipment purchases. I don't want people on TV thinking that we're gonna, here we come out with a big wish list that we want to spend money. It's probably the best time to engage the CIP because they're getting back together, right? I think they're reinventing the wheels. We should come up with a long-term recreation wish list. One would be like a replacement for Talent Hall with the community center, figure out what can we do with the building and where we're going with the building. I did reach out to an email thread that has a bunch of the recreation commissions on it. And to my surprise, we are the only one that have a facility that has a building. Even Salem does not. I was really surprised. I was asking just the basics. Have they replaced it recently? Have they built one? What is the estimated cost?
So what does Salem use? Just like their schools or something?
Yeah, a lot of them use schools and
Hampstead, was it Hampstead? No. Which is the one with like the little basketball gym that looks, it actually almost reminds me of Talent.
Is it Deerfield?
No, it's either Hampstead or what's the other one? What's the one that starts with a P?
Plastow?
Plastow.
One of them. There's like a basketball. I can't remember the thing. It legitimately, it's pretty much Talent, except the stands you climb up and you like look down on the court. It's crazy. But I don't know if it might not be rec owned. Who knows? But I know we played youth basketball there at one point.
We probably should add the parking lot to the list too. I know that we may have an opportunity to have it done.
That was
Okay.
on the list.
It's still on the list, but I think we should update the cost of it since
It's probably more.
oil prices have gone up, asphalt gone up.
And what else can we do in the CIP as far as the rec?
Can you do anything with the beach or dredging stuff
Do all
out
that.
of there? Any of that?
We need to figure out what we actually want to do with Darrah Pond. Is it going to stay a frog pond, or do we eventually want to get it to be a swimming hole for the community?
Swim lessons used to happen in
Be
there.
there and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a milfoil issue in there that hasn't been addressed for years because we never got direction on what rec wanted to do with the pond. So we pulled it from the warrant probably 3 years ago now, maybe 4
Yeah, it
years
was a
ago.
while ago now.
A long time.
And at
It'd
the
be nice
time,
to
it
get that
was
cleaned up.
$30,000 initial investment,
I guess the problem was nobody knew what the maintenance cost was going to be too.
which is
They just said, here's the initial cost. I think it was 30 grand.
and then 10K a year
Yeah.
afterwards. Which was a little bit of a surprise. But then that's when we talked about, well, what's the long-term strategy?
What do we want to do with it? If it's going to be a frog pond, why do we even go and address it?
Does the high school still do any testing in there? Their AP, was it environmental science?
I don't know.
Used to
Still
do
does.
stuff
They
like
still have
that.
that course, yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't
they
know what they do. in
dig
it, but
holes in the winter, I know, through the ice. I don't know what they did. I know my son was really into it, but I don't know what they did, but they did some work down there. I mean, I think it could be a good resource that maybe we don't use
Yep.
to its full extent. And if it's not on the CIP,
We're never gonna get anything.
right, if it is that, because it's a body of water, we may be able to come across grants for that too.
So my suggestion would be
At one
then-
time, there was something on there, I think, to even have a boat ramp or something, or a dock or something years ago.
Can't see that. It's
No.
not enough. So let's, for long-term solution, let's start thinking about what we can do, what for the capital improvement plan, so we can give the CIP some input from the recreation side, so that we don't miss out on anything.
We should do it sooner than later, because I think they're gonna
Yes.
meet almost every week or 3 weeks in the month of June. Their goal is to get everything done in it to present to the Board of Selectmen by September.
All right, so then let's try to have, by next meeting.
Yep.
Come with your ideas, thoughts, and we'll craft something up and send it to them, so that we're on the radar. Old business.
Can I just ask one question? Like, how detailed does it have to be?
I don't think deeply detailed, just kind of like,
It really comes down to the cost of it. I mean, like the library came to us and they wanted a new library put on it, but they had no idea what the cost would be.
Yeah.
So they want you to put some type of framework around it. What number do you think it would be when you come and present?
So last year, like,
You did a lot of work.
yeah, I just ran the numbers at work. Like
Mm-hmm.
I went through all of my books and cost estimated, like, the construction materials and the labor and all
Okay.
that stuff. It depends on the project, but I could probably help
And
you out.
every commission or committee in town puts in through the CIP, like school do that too?
Yep.
School board. And so have any groups ever had like a combined one? Like,
Not yet.
let's say library, community center / gym combination, like where it comes out of something that would,
Nobody's ever done it. So what they normally do is
Or-
they reach out to all the department heads
okay,
and they say, come up with what your asks are. And the threshold was $50,000
okay.
and more went to the CIP. If the CIP vetted it and thought it belonged on the plan. And then what they do is they classify as an immediate need. Is it, I think it's immediate, desirable, future. So there's 3 different codes and then they code
Okay.
each one of it. Then what they try to do is we try to budget it in where it is so it balances the tax basis over the next 10 years.
So, maybe if we do something with putting in community center, we have to be creative with it and
Yep.
maybe, I don't know, I've said this before too. I know the school's really pushing for a new elementary school and it would be cheaper to just put on a bigger gym with a divider that could go up and an extra classroom on the side that could be
Couldn't agree more
your
to that.
senior center, community center.
The bigger gym idea was always back during the day, was always part of the idea of when building a new elementary school. Problem is the new elementary school didn't pass, so the bigger gym didn't
Right.
get open with the new
Yeah.
elementary school.
It
back
would
then,
just be a
so-
lot cheaper to do something that way
Then to
than
build
a
two
whole
separate-
different
And then the other part is
structure.
if you wanted to make a bigger library, can you just expand the library, put some safety measures in there, with security doors, so you could have both libraries at the same time,
Right.
sharing resources.
Yeah. I just think if, we honestly don't know if what's gonna happen with like the floor in there. That's what I think is gonna be. It's not refinishable. And if that goes, we're still gonna have cinder blocks standing. You'll essentially have a building, but
A shell.
a shell with new toilets and new sinks and water energy efficient, but
New heating system.
I just think.
So maybe that's
Try to be
number one on
creative
our
in a
list
way.
Is replacing the floors there.
That's what would have to happen, right? In order for it to,
I don't even know if you can,
Sound.
again, we don't even know if you can replace the floors there. Like, I guess you
They
could
can't
dig
be
them out, put them
redone.
done. Yeah, you could, but
We need somebody.
it always
who
gets
knows-
back, it always gets back to the thing, like, why are we gonna do it? Why are we gonna do it to a place that's actually too small for the needs of the town right now?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
But then we put out the
Warrant article, what, 2
warrant
years ago?
article, and people were like, no way. So
No, because again, it won't be it won't be treated until there's nothing there. And then we get, just like COVID, we get basketball coming in saying, what are we doing? We got to go rent and pay for somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you have someone else coming in and say, I can't do this or I can't do that, because all of a sudden then it's an issue. Then it becomes, oh, what do we do now? Well, now we can't do this. You know what I mean? And that's part of the thing. It's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes we're way too short-sighted in this, because it's going to happen. Like pickleball uses it all the time.
And
If all of a sudden we shut it down, where's pickleball going?
they're going to be the ones out of luck.
Correct. They're going to be
Because
out of luck. And
the
then
kids are
that's
gonna
a
be
whole
able
group.
to use the schools.
The kids, I don't know how much they're going to be able to use the schools. That's the
But we
thing,
have
is
a
the
brand
more
new gym and
usage.
a larger gym. I mean, I'm hoping that the
Is it-
community pays.
are
to
we
do
going to have a
school.
bigger gym and a brand new gym?
Right. Well, I don't know how to bring that discussion up, but
But if we put it in the CIP and we push it, hopefully the CIP looks at it where if they want a bigger gym, you're building a new school with a gym, can we combine the two?
I mean, it makes sense because it would be a lot cheaper. And if you had a way you could,
Yep.
divide it off when need be. And then when the school has bigger events, you've got the nice big gym and all the families and everybody can fit. And
All right, so how about for the next meeting? Because we need to get something to the CIP
Yeah.
by June. Write up your thoughts, try to come up with an idea, cost estimate, and then we'll try to craft something and get it to CIP. This is 4 to 10 years, I think is what they look at it, right? The CIP is a 4 to 10 year plan. And if we can align with the school and possibly justify, the more we can, the better off we are, because we all agree Talent Hall is long past its useful life. We need to do something. And then go to Andy and he'll create all the cost estimates.
Sure.
Sure. Old business, tennis court resurfacing, Mr. Burns.
Yeah, so I had an event, a work event that I was a part of a week or so ago. It was at Oyster River High School, and there was a lot of K through 12 vendors there, and one of them was a floor company. So I just chatted them up a little bit, and they do tennis courts, they do outdoor surfaces, they do indoor surfaces, so it might be worth looking at that for Town Hall as well. But he's going to give us an estimate to at least resurface the tennis courts at Sawmill, see what that's going to look like, and maybe repaint them for pickleball, see how we can, make that happen. I'm going to meet with him tomorrow morning. So
Okay.
Is that a complete resurface or just fix the cracks?
I'm going to get both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get both. Cool.
I sent a couple emails to some small paving companies, and I got nothing back. I got one guy that responded and said, we're not taking on any more work this year, and
Yeah.
it's outside of our scope.
This guy's been responsive, so
And you said he also does indoor stuff too?
he does sports floors. That's
Get an idea of what it will cost.
Yeah, 2 for 1.
Swing by talent.
Yeah, get an idea.
I can
So we
take
can
it
have an idea. He probably has to climb underneath and look under there.
yeah.
Because then that'll help justify the cost of moving on. If we have to put a lot of money
Yep.
into rebuilding the old building, it just doesn't make any sense.
so. In order to get under there, is it the trap door in front of the stage there that's going to come off? How does he get under there?
It's in the right-hand corner by the front door, right?
Oh, it's
And
a
you
hatch
walk
in
in
the
the first
floor.
hatch if you
Yeah,
get in the
okay.
floor and go under.
Okay, I can take him by. Can't promise he's going to want to go down there, but
Yeah.
You will not go through the hatch,
I'm not going to try.
but you won't.
I'll hold your legs.
Oh, you can just send a camera down there.
Yeah,
We got like a thing you can attach to
Everybody got a
your
remote
phone.
control car?
Send it down under
Yeah.
there.
tape a phone to it. And
Yeah.
drive it around.
All right, so he's going to meet you out there tomorrow?
Mhm.
That's awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
Flying High Dog Show confirmed a date. They're going to be at Sawmill Brook Park, Saturday, July 30th, 2022, from 2 to 3 p.m., or 2 to 3:30 p.m. That gives them a little padding time to set up and break down. Mr. Jeff Town has already added it to the calendar. This was just a follow-up from the last conversation we had where they had a confirm a date. Batting cages at Justin Memorial Complex. Mr. Ruggles.
They're up. They're being used tonight.
They look
So-
good.
Finally up.
Yeah, it took a while, but they're up, and I'm gonna keep an eye on just because I want to make sure that they fix them correctly. So there was a little issue with that. Basically, when they poured the posts, they put them 6 feet too close together, so they had to move one end 6 feet. And I was just worried about the process of which they were going to do that
Lengthwise or widthwise?
lengthwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're long. They're huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So use them. We got them.
They're at 40 by 70, I think, right? Is the area.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's left to be done there?
From a town standpoint, nothing.
Nothing, just,
Baseball, we're going to try to get some mats for them so you can hit off.
And some net protectors, just
Net
so
protector.
when you keep throwing into the net, it you can replace a $200 net protector rather than a $17,000.
I think everything
whatever it
that's
is.
done, the only thing that could use a little TLC is the common area grass.
and was
Which-
our former contractor still on the hook for that, or is he out of the loop now?
No, he was only had to do the irrigation, which he did.
And so we'll be the fixing the grass up a little bit and then getting the gravel up to the,
Yeah.
It would be nice to get gravel up there because everybody walks up that pathway anyway.
It's
So
mud.
it's going to get
Well, the highway department told me they were going to do it for us. They just had to wait till it dried up a
Oh.
little because it was so spongy when they had the loader going over it.
perfect.
So their intent's to come in there, clean it up for us, and make the gravel path all the way up to the maintenance shed.
That's awesome.
and then long-term, maybe put 2 wooden poles where the culverts are so people don't run down. And I'd like to put,
It would even be nice to put the white vinyl fence there.
oh,
That would look really nice.
yeah, so that it blocks off the area, so there's only one way to get in.
Just walk down the pathway out of the,
But the
come out of the
parking,
parking lot, down and down the whole thing.
but the parking lot's awesome now. I mean, like there's plenty,
Oh,
almost.
the only other thing we wanted to do was paint the parking lot. Remember we were going to get,
Yeah, I keep thinking about it. I have to survey it at some point. I just haven't had time.
do we have the
Stripe
money, do we already have the money allocated for that? I thought we did have it
For the
striped.
paint?
I thought we did.
I don't think it'd be big money. Oh, we had talked to the town about that, right?
I don't know.
Stripe
I'll have to
it
go
with
back and
lines?
look.
Is that what
Yeah,
you-
parking
Talked to
spots.
Highway about it or something, Kevin? I don't remember.
I don't remember. You'll have to go back and look at it.
We should also put some poles and a chain up during the winter, so to keep people out of the parking lot, so that we don't have any more illegal dumping
Yeah.
and damage to the.
I think putting white vinyl fencing around all the entrance points would look really nice. And then you could always just put a couple hasps or something or put a pole next to it.
Great project for Steve and Jay. And
Well, we got the brand new tractor.
we got the
that we
tractor. the
Hey, that was
If we
next
got
on
the
the
new-
list.
If we get a machine that digs holes, it's not too bad.
So that's looking good down there. Tractor update. We did take possession
Oh, nice.
with all the attachments. They delivered it to what we're calling the Litchfield Recreation and Conservation Storage Facility, aka the old fire station.
Where everybody stores everything.
It looks nice. It's nice and clean. Jay in his commission. So Jason Brennan now is the chairman of the Conservation Commission as of last Thursday, right? He picked up a check or is picking up a check and he procured a nice used trailer up in Tilton. The thing's 2 years old and it's almost half the cost of a brand new one. And it's perfect for what we're going to do. So he's going to try to pick that up, I think, this week. Hopefully, I'm not telling his wife things she
Oh,
doesn't
no, he's
know.
not. It's our anniversary.
She's taking notes.
And then he talked with Karen today about the insurance, and she's going to make sure it gets on the insurance whenever they have to do it. There's a certain cycle, and I think I asked him to make sure that the check, the check was cash and all that, so we could use it and not worry about it getting slammed. So that's good. It came with the York rake, a brush hog, an underbelly mount mower, and the front detachable bucket. So yeah, good to go.
Now we just need an auger.
Auger.
Put it on the CIP.
Nice thing though, with an auger, those are pretty cheap. I know long term, we talked about looking for a rototiller for baseball to use in the fields and also the community garden. And Jay and I mentioned a grapple so you could clean up all the brush and the sticks and all that kind of stuff and just kind of, you pull the bucket off the front and it's a grapple that grabs. You've probably seen, right? Being a farmer's
I know what
boy.
you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah, we've all played those games before. You goes down and grabs it. I mean, we-
Claw machine.
Yeah, exactly. So we're all set.
Yeah,
Never
so
win.
Just a matter of toy. All right. The last thing is Mr. Harry Manzikian Fishing Derby update. Will be this Saturday, May 14th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Parker Park. He's put in a ton of work. Things are moving along. I think he's put in more work than the actual event.
Okay, as it stands right now, I double checked with the police department and they're all set to go. Now, I probably got his name wrong, but I call him Rick Charbonneau, put the flashing sign up by Parker Park. He put that up today. The fish that we paid for will be here on Thursday morning between 11 and 1. And then Jeff Town and I will end up we'll close the area down, okay? And we'll have to stand guard. Jeff and I are going to Dara Pond Hall, and we're going to pick up some tables and chairs and some trash cans. Let's see what else. I think I've got a bunch of miscellaneous things to do, but that's probably most important thing. Oh,
How many tables do you want? So I could grab them and drop them down.
it looks like we're going to use 3.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll grab 3
Now,
trash cans.
what Jeff had told me is that the chairs at Dara Pond probably aren't going to be good to use in the ground because they'll sink in.
Possible. Stand. It's
Are
on
you
the
using
chair.
are you bringing chairs just for like your volunteers who are working at the tables?
Yes.
So maybe they can just bring their own
Like camping
folding
chairs.
chairs. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the gentleman who's bringing the lures, Mr. Lemire.
Pardon?
Paul Lemire. Is it Paul Lemire?
Yeah.
Is going to have all his lures out for the kids to pick and choose.
Oh, yes.
Big table.
I had a wonderful discussion with him today, and he's certainly an amazing individual. And when he was telling me that he was going to have somewhere between 100 to 200 lures out on the table, I have to admit I took it with a grain of salt. But today, no longer a grain of salt. He's for real. The lures are going to be for the kids only. So if we see some greedy adults trying to go for them, we'll probably slap their hands, but they're for the kids, okay? We basically got all the prizes organized. We got them bagged and labeled, so that should take care of that. Paul's going to supply the worms. Let's see what else. Let me check my book.
So as far as support, I'm going to go down. I'm actually taking Friday off, so I'll go down and do some cleanup down there, and I'll be there Saturday. I think my wife is going to
Yeah.
as well. Anybody else?
I was-
I can
Yeah.
help on Friday.
I'll be
And
in Hudson. We have a
Jay's taking Friday off, so we can go down in the morning.
Yeah.
And help
Yeah, I
out.
was going to say Jay and I, but I didn't want
Okay, well, that was my
I
other.
have Friday off too, so.
Jerry
yeah.
rolled on him enough tonight.
Yeah.
Taking the tractor.
How many of you folks think you're going to be able to volunteer?
I would love to. I have a prior commitment.
I'll be there.
I
We're
cannot.
tied up
I will
all
be somewhere between here and New York, picking up my daughter.
Steve, you,
I'm going to be there. Judy will be there.
okay?
Good chance I'll be there. So tentative, yes.
We have baseball, softball.
We do with baseball.
What was that, Peter?
I'm a tentative, yes, as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
These guys have prior commitments because they're involved in sports, and the same with
Yeah.
Yankees. So it'll be possibly 3 of us.
I want to be in New York City.
Okay, it'll be a little hectic, but we'll manage to make our way through.
The only hectic thing will be is if anybody falls in and it's ice cold water.
Now, that's why I have the EMT there. The other thing we're gonna pick up at Dara Pond, I guess, is that Jeff said you had some green vests that you use
Yeah, you
for,
had some safety vests. Yep.
yeah, because we're gonna probably need one or two people trying to help on the traffic, so, oh, the other thing is that initially we had planned to offer cleaning fish, but because of circumstances, we're going to not do that. But
Okay.
in lieu of that, it's always a plan B. As we register the kids, whoever that ends up, we'll be handing out gallon clear plastic bags. And if they want to take their fish home, they can throw them into the bags and take them home. You're smiling.
I'd be telling my kids, no way. It has to go back.
So in lieu of cleaning the fish, that was the best thing that we could come up with.
There are going to be fishing poles there?
No,
No.
It's fishing derby. You got to bring your own pole.
No, I thought there, at some point, there was talk about
there was,
fishing
but
poles and.
it gets
I
to
thought
be-
We were donating,
For prizes, right?
as
Yeah.
prizes. Okay.
just to let everybody know what between Paul Lemire and what Steve authorized, we only have 18 fishing poles. And we only have 9 prizes. So whoever wins, whatever the prizes are, these kids are going to walk home with really some good stuff. Okay. So we were going to assign the poles per the prize. And then we decided, what happens if an 8-year-old catches the biggest fish? Well, he obviously doesn't want a 6.5-foot pole spinning rod. So we're going to play that by ear. So,
All right.
what else?
You showed me the certificate already, the permit.
We've got the permit.
I-
Like I said, the fish will be here on Thursday.
Yep.
Was hoping Friday, but Paul and I will be, Jeff and I will be down there Thursday morning, setting up, like I say, the closed areas and doing some other stuff down there. And then one of us will stand guard and we'll switch off and all that sort of stuff. So the only other thing is I wish we'd have a little bit more rain, but it's the way it goes sometimes, you know?
Yeah, if
So-
not getting any rain, it's gonna be 82 and sunny.
Yeah. So the only other thing I wanted to show everybody, and I'm kind of beaming at this. I am not an expert on making a poster. So I was talking to a member of the Benzigian family. And my son happened to say, gee, I know an artist. And sure enough, and I don't care, my 14-year-old granddaughter did this.
Very
all
nice.
by
Great.
herself.
That's
Very
great.
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, she did.
Beautiful.
You know, now grandpa's gonna be in debt up to his eyebrows. And the word no, it doesn't exist anymore. So,
Just hand over your wallet.
pardon?
Hand over your wallet.
You bet.
She already got your heart. Just go for the wallet now.
And
That's
I
great.
made sure I included everybody here. And the other poster that you did. Is we were gonna put this on the prize table.
Can you hold up that to the camera so Peter and everybody on TV could see it?
Can you see it?
How about hold up the big one?
With your left, yep.
Because the camera's right up top there. That one. That one's better. The corner one. Oh, in the
In the
corner.
corner.
Oh,
That's good, thank you.
can you?
Very nice. Well done.
So, yeah, when I had her do it, we had a philosophical discussion with my 14-year-old granddaughter. And I asked her to, take credit for it. And she just, I have to choose my words carefully here.
Yeah, you're on TV.
She gave me a very hard time about it. And then when I saw the poster, I chastised her severely, saying, "Why did you give me a hard time?" Because, so,
All right, nice job. What's your granddaughter's name?
her name is Charlotte.
Shala?
Yeah.
Shala Manzikina. Nice job, Shala.
Very
Awesome,
nice.
Harry. Good job. You put a lot of time and effort into it, you and Jeff.
So,
I think it's going to turn out well, and let's hope for the best.
that's all we can do, and we'll see what happens. And, Diane from the Conservation
Diane Plansky.
Commission
Yep.
got hold of the school, Griffin and Middle, and I think Joan posted signs all over.
Yep.
the
We saw the
place.
signs throughout.
Yeah.
Yep, and Diane was gonna-
Jason sent his poster out on social media, I believe.
Yeah, Diane
did it
contacted
on-
the school and was going to ask them
Yeah.
to email the parents to let them know that
Yeah,
there'd be a fishing
and,
derby.
And to answer your question, as far as having fishing rods there, generally what happens is if you supply a fishing rod to a person, they're totally unfamiliar with it, and it causes more problems than it's really worth.
No, I think I was just confused as to, I had written something that there were gonna be fishing poles, but I
Well,
didn't write they were
I think
prizes,
at one
but there was
time,
prizes.
Jeff and I had talked about maybe borrowing it from the Boy Scouts, fishing poles, but then we reconsidered that. So.
Bring your own rod. Any rods that will be there from
Yeah.
us will be
And
used as prizes.
What generally will happen is we'll see who does, and as far as signing things or assigning you folks, when you get there, we'll see, who's available and what you'd like to do and all that sort of stuff.
Judy wants to clean the
No,
fish.
I was gonna say, I'm not cleaning fish. No. Or bagging fish.
You don't know.
I'll direct traffic.
Have
Oh,
we
I was
ordered
gonna put you on patrol and see if you could help people. No?
With fishing. I don't take fish off the line either.
have we ordered the comfort stations?
You don't want to pick out the worms and put them in a plastic bucket either?
I'll find something I can help with.
No, there's plenty to do besides that. So, outside of that,
Call Troy tomorrow.
anybody got any?
I'm trying to think. Last
Questions?
time I took it from Scott in this field because it wasn't being used, but it's being used now.
I just have them call United and see if they can
Oh,
drop you
just
off.
one quick question, Steve.
Yes.
Did you guys ever follow up on that Let's Go Fishing situation at all?
No.
Okay, no, I'm just curious.
It is something that I do have it sitting right here. I actually,
No, it's that
Steve, I can look into that if you want. I was gonna mention that last time when we brought it up, that if you want. me to
well,
look into it, I
time
can do
time
that.
is a factor with those people. They generally will give the classes, I think, till the end of May. And the reason they do it
Okay.
till the end of May is because school is let out and most everybody goes on vacation.
So there really isn't time to get that in this year,
No.
but it
I
could
was
be for
thinking-
next year,
Yeah.
Next year.
possibility. Okay.
Oh,
Let's go
and
fishing.
the other thing, and I don't know, is I got contacted by TV 20, and we're gonna go over to. It was John, and I can never,
Brunel.
yeah. What he asked me, he wants to do a little bit over at Dare Pond on the 21st.
Oh, John Latchet it? Yeah.
okay.
And we're gonna go over a very simple,
Okay.
let's go fishing type of thing. And where it's thereupon, I thought I might mention that. And
We give you permission.
So
Public.
either I'm gonna
By the
be
way.
famous or I'm gonna be infamous. I'm not sure at this point, and I'll take either one, to be honest with you. So, anybody got any questions or?
No, good luck.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, you put a lot of work into it.
Thank you. I'll contact Troy in the morning. I'll send him an email tonight and ask him if we can get a porta potty for Saturday. Which
You can bring in one or two.
Just one.
Yeah, and you're gonna stuff that in the corner someplace, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be in the parking lot over by probably the left-hand side.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, we tried to convince my granddaughter to make smaller posters that we could sell for $2. I'm not used to dealing with 14-year-olds, so I'll have to lean on you guys as far as that goes.
All right. Thank you, Harry. Any other business? We don't have a non-public, so we will accept a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
The second.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Rubber,
Aye.
were you hesitant? You don't know? Mr. Burns?
Aye.
Mr. Ruggles?
Aye.
I'm also an aye. Mr. Bosky?
Aye.
Ms. Brennan?
Aye.
Mr. Ames?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0-0. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Russ.